I don't know what else they could do. Like, is Onyx now dead? So I wanted to make a video just talking about how crazy good Gymshark's marketing and releases have been for 2026. From like a business perspective, I think it's so clever, and I really want to just yap about it. So I've been a victim of the Gymshark hype a few times, even on products that aren't hype. I think their stuff is cool naturally. I feel like there's definitely an element of you need to like the product that they're trying to push to you, right? But with these compressions and their like sought after products, I think they've done like a crazy good job to the point it almost feels like you've been cheated. Now, obviously, I'm talking about the V1 re-release that happened shortly after the V5. I say shortly, it was months, but nearly half a year later. I'm not too sure what their Onyx schedule usually is throughout a year. Maybe like 4 drops or something. That's what I've heard, but I don't know. I've only really just the past year gotten into like fitness clothing big time. Um, and I just think that their stuff's pretty good, right? Like I got the base layer on right now. Don't get it twisted. It's not like a fake midnight or something. It's the base layer. I think this is great. And this isn't even really a hype product. I guess the colorway kind of is, but I just like the color. Yeah, obviously everyone's a V1. You know, 2016 was such a good time to be alive, and they've definitely like been on that. Right? The biggest marketed product is the Onyx, and I'm sure we all know that. But the way that they were bringing them out is like, you know, generation after generation, riding off of the hype that was building for the V1 stuff, but never giving it to you. And they don't want you to have it because if you could have that, you would never buy the new ones. So they've, well, I say never, you might, but they know that there's so much hype behind what, you know, their history that almost edge it a bit, right? So they've gotten to a point where they haven't dropped a hoodie in a while, like since like what V3, which was a while ago. Um, Someone's come up with the V5, and I don't know. I've heard things that this was like a almost like a beta test, or like, you know, they were testing to see if anyone was actually going to buy the V1. Like they weren't sure of it, so they did this as like a test launch. That might be true, but I also feel like there's definitely an element of like, right, if we launch this, everyone's gonna go in nuts. It's gonna work. Someone's along the line come up with the idea of, hang on, pause. We haven't done a hoodie in a minute. Let's redo the hoodie, and then if that is like the beta test, they can test it. I mean, all their products always sell out. I don't know. I feel like there could just be an element of like, oh, sold out. Yep, you know, can't have it. Sorry. Whether it has or hasn't, you could just kind of say that, or set the stock level so low that it will sell out because your predicted figures, or they just don't manufacture a lot of it to keep it rare and stock is low anyway. I don't know what their deal is. So someone just delivered something, shook me. They've then made a hoodie they were most likely already planning to release. They get the beta test, and they also get to sell you the same thing twice. I think that's crazy. Now, and then when the V1 drops, of course, you got OG colorways. They differentiate it, which is great. I think that's, you know, a good thing to do, even if you are like a little mad at it, or if you are mad because you have an old piece and now it's devalued it or whatever. Um, I think it's the best for both people. You make a new version, keeping the old one exclusive, but you give people who want it the opportunity to have it. I think that's great. But what I think is even more clever, right, is because the V5s just came out, and you've got a blue hoodie, you've got a red hoodie, a purple hoodie, and a black and white, and then the t-shirts to go with it, cool, and the tanks. And I think that made a big splash in the water with the hoodies, because you see the blue V5 and it's, you know, a screaming David Lade, right? You haven't seen one of these in ages, and everyone wants it. And including myself, I got the red hoodie and the blue hoodie. I've never even damn worn the blue hoodie, right? But I got it, and I will wear it at some point. What I think is so clever is that they've then obviously re-released those colors for the V1 drop, like the blue, and they did a red in the OG style, which arguably amongst a lot of people, because of the hype and also just the look of it, is better. Like, if you could choose between the two, if they gave you the choice as they're dropping the V5, like, oh hey, we're dropping this V1, a lot of people I don't think would have bought the V5 because you don't necessarily want two blue and black hoodies and one that's got loads of hype and stigma behind it, and one that kind of doesn't. Unless there was maybe a price difference. But what they did is they knew that people would have already bought ones in colors, so they put neutral colors out with the drop, like the black and the grey or grey white t-shirt and hoodie. And I thought that was so clever because everyone who's gotten a colored V5 who hasn't got loads of expendable income, or maybe doesn't want two hoodies that are nearly the same, now has another one to get, right? That is OG design, a neutral color, so it's not going to kind of clash with your color palette of the hoodie you may or may not already have. Like, I thought it was great. I noticed this in myself because I had the blue one. There's no way really I'm going to buy the blue V1 unless I could sell the V5, but that just seems like a waste, right? I'm not, realistically, I don't know, I might have got it if they didn't have the neutrals, but there's a good chance I wouldn't because I've already got the colorway. But I saw the black one, I was like, oh, that's really low key, that's nice, it's OG. You know, my money was already gone before the drop happened. It's just so clever because you then appeal to everybody, even the people who have kind of already gotten what they want. And then they're not cheating because they still get some of the V1 OG stuff. I thought it was very, very clever. Now with the Devant, they've kind of, you know, this is the day before the Devant drops. This is when I'm filming. I don't know when this is coming out. But, you know, you've got like Shadow Seamless, you've got other Seamless stuff I'm sure they've done. But they've now not decided to almost give you what you want, which is the Devant. They've just given it to you because it follows the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, like principle. Because I felt like most people wouldn't buy a remock of something very similar that rides off the hype of something they've done before, since they've already given like a really like probably their pinnacle piece, you know, their old V1 hoodies and tees. That is set the bar really high, and I feel like after dropping the V5, everyone's almost a bit less trusting in the company because again, some people might feel a little cheated because if they knew the V1 was coming out, they might not have got the V5. If the V1 came out before the V5, some people might not have bought it. So they've now just decided, right, we're not going to edge them for this one because we're just going to give you exactly what you want. Near enough one-for-one design. And I think that's even more clever because they're not trying to ride off hype again with a product that is half par, knowing that people will just see through it and not buy it. So while a lot of people keep saying, yep, Gymshark's going for another cash grab because they're dropping an OG piece, wow, they're not really, because they really could squeeze you. They could have done the hoodie for like another year of just like making design more like a V1 until they just gave you the V1, but they didn't. And the Devant is exactly how you want it. They're not gonna like, they could re-release it again, but they're not gonna maybe do some more colors like they've done the brown one and the green, but they're probably not going to make like a close mock of it because it won't work, and I know it. So I just want to yap about that because I thought that was so ingenious, right? And I guess you could also say with the Onyx FOMO thing everyone got at the end of the Onyx drop, you know, here we've got some other compressions you might like. It's a good way to market those. I don't know how well that would have worked, to be honest, because a lot of people just don't want it. I mean, if you really did want a new shirt, you would go look elsewhere. But for someone like me, I got what I wanted, which was the black hoodie and the black t-shirt, the V1s. But, and if I get extra, maybe I would have, but that's what I was riding on, and I got what I want. But even if I didn't, I'm not gonna get anything else. I literally bought another base layer with the drop, but only because I saw it and it looked cool. And I added it to my cart as I was checking out with the V1 stuff. Shout out James Bidwell for looking class in the photo because you really sold it to me. I think that's always a good like Hail Mary to all the people. I'm sure they did get more sales out of it and they could have predicted that. I do wonder now though is where they're going to go with the Onyx line because they've been riding off this V1 hype and this 2016 hype for so long. Yo! Joel, be on a video. I'm making a little YouTube video. I'm going to show off your hair. Oh, he buzzed his hair, bro. Nice. Just FaceTime me. I had to pick it up. He buzzed cut his hair. Looks pretty fly. But yeah, I don't know where they're going to go because they've done what everyone wanted. Right? So now if the next version of Onyx t-shirts and or hoodies, is anyone gonna buy them? I just don't know. If you have that, like, how do you top that? More colors, maybe, like the yellow one. I do like the yellow hoodie. I gotta admit, I think that's really. I don't know if it's underrated because it's definitely not right now. But like as a color, not for like the hype. I think it's actually quite nice. The yellow and grey. So I might buy that if they brought it out. Other than re-releasing colors and stuff and giving them new colors, I don't know what else they could do. Like, is Onyx now dead? Because everyone who wants has probably got it, and everyone who wanted it, I guess they could appeal to the people who didn't get what they wanted. Like, they couldn't get anything from the drop, but I don't know how many people that's going to be with like people selling it secondhand and stuff. Like, I feel like we may not see like a new Onyx piece, like at least the same sort of style we've usually had. Maybe they'll start like a Onyx trouser line or something. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think's gonna happen to the Onyx line because I do wonder what the next step is. I'd love to hear your predictions. I love to just discuss these things and I guess kind of like conspiracy theory your way through it and just mock up some ideas. And you can see if you can call it. Maybe in like a few months or a year, your idea actually happens. So yeah, let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of this little rant. What do you think of the Gymshark marketing lately? I feel like it's been on point, if you can't already tell. Yeah, like and subscribe if you did enjoy. I'm going to try and make some more talkative videos and some more gym content too. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you like it. Thanks for watching to the end. Have a good day.